In this section, you'll be learning how to use the Add button control to create a user-populated table control in a web form. Rocky Jupiter admins would also like to be able to edit the details of the deliveries. You'll grant their wish in this section by adding an Edit button to the delivery list. When the admin clicks Edit next to a delivery, the row will pop up inside a second table with user-editable cells. First things first, add an empty second table control below the first one. The table control's record set property seems decidedly odd. This is because Task Editor is set up to start out empty. The columns that its query returns are mere placeholders. All they specify is the data type of the values that will populate the table and the aliases assigned to the future columns using the as SQL operator because table and column aliases are mandatory in web forms queries. To make sure that no rows get generated with the empty strings inside, the query ends with where false. The header is a copy of the task list table's header. The cells of this new table must all be editable, so make them text box controls. Watch out, you'll need to parse the date value in the due date column to a string before you can stick it into a text box. That's what the format_dtl function does. Save, publish, view online. We've got an empty table control. You didn't expect it to have any rows, right? Let's continue and give the user the ability to populate the task editor table. Meet the Add button control, designed with just the functionality similar to the Add to Basket button that you see on shopping websites. I'll open the same form source in split screen so the edits are easier to follow. Insert an Add button as the leftmost cell of the task list row template. Don't forget to add a new cell to the header also. The Add button's table property specifies the table control that it will populate with new rows. In the records property, you specify using a web forms query the values in the fields of the row that the Add button inserts. The name, data type, and the order of the columns in records must match those specified in the record set of the table control that the Add button targets, which is, of course, Task Editor. Save, publish, open online. Click a few edit buttons and see what happens. You can move entries into Task Editor just fine, but can you get them out of there? The Add button does not automatically generate its counterpart in the target table. You'll have to add one yourself. The Remove button extends the Task Editor row template and specifies that the new button should have the text Cancel Edit. Save, publish, and access. Add deliveries to Task Editor, and then remove them by clicking Cancel Edit. Your users can now start editing any delivery and are even allowed to change their minds. Now you'll want to make their job easier and less error-prone, ditching the data input text boxes and replacing them with the driver, cargo, client, and status drop-downs from the list of deliveries. This is what you'll tackle in the next section.